Hey guys, what's up? I am back with another video. So in this video, we will doing the speed test comparison between the iPhone 14 versus the Samsung Galaxy S22, and Samsung Galaxy S22 is powered by Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 SoC with 8 GB of RAM, while the iPhone 14 is powered by old Apple A15 Bionic SoC 4 GB of RAM. So on the back, we have a dual cameras on the iPhone versus a triple cameras on the Samsung Galaxy S22. So iPhone has a 12 megapixel f1.5 aperture with a sensor shift OIS main camera. Then we have a 12 megapixel ultra wide, while on the another hand, the Samsung Galaxy S22 has a 50 megapixel f1.8 aperture with optical image separation main camera, 12 megapixel ultra wide, and a 10 megapixel telephoto lens, which give you a 3x optical zoom with OIS. So, and the back on both phones is made up of glass. We have a Korean Gorilla Glass Victus on the S22 versus dual ion glass on the iPhone 14, and the frame on both phones is made up of aluminium. iPhone has a completely flat frame, so it feels more boxier in the hand, while S22 has a little curved on the back, and you can see which feels more comfortable as compared to the iPhone. So on the bottom, no headphone jack on both these two devices, as you can see, and both phones has a stereo speaker. So I am really excited to see that how this iPhone 14 is gonna stack up against the Samsung Galaxy S22 in apps opening speed as well as in the boot up test. Now let's quickly boot both of these phones up at the same time. Let's see which one is faster. So logos came up first on the Samsung S22, and iPhone is running on iOS 16.3, while Samsung is running on Samsung OneUI 5, which is based on Android 13. So we have latest softwares on both phones. So iPhone 14 is faster when it comes to booting up. S22 is taking a lot of time. Now the S22 it is also done. So we have a 3 or 4 second difference between these two devices when it comes to booting up. So iPhone has a 6.1 inch over Full HD Plus Super Retina XDR OLED display with 60 Hz refresh rate, and this display has a 1200 nits of peak brightness, while Samsung S22 also has a 6.1 inch Full HD Plus Dynamic AMOLED LTPO 120 Hz refresh rate. Also we have a 1300 nits of peak brightness on this phone. Also we have a center punch hole on the Samsung S22 versus a big Apple notch on the iPhone 14. So now let's see apps opening speed. So everything's closed up in the background, no application is running in the background. Also we have same Wi-Fi network on both phones. So now let's start off with the phone dialer. That is little faster on the iPhone. Again, you guys are the judge of the speed test. So now let's open settings. That is very similar. So now let's go to the display on both phones. Again, we have LTPO 120 Hz refresh rate on the Samsung, which is not really available on the iPhone. So that's really disappointing. In this price range, we should get a promotion on this phone, which is only available on the iPhone 14 Pro series. So now check out some more apps. Now let's start off with the Amazon shopping with same Wi-Fi network. So both phones is open the Amazon shopping at the same time. Let's see scrolling, and that is feels smoother on the Samsung S22, while iPhone it feels not as smooth as the S22, but no lag whatsoever on both phones. But 120 Hz refresh rate, it is on another level. So now let's open this. That is very similar. Scrolling again much smoother on the Samsung. So now check out some games application. This way we should see a more difference between these two devices. So opening up the Candy Crush Saga. So that is very similar on both phones, and you can see not a really big difference. Now let's open Instagram. That one faster on the iPhone. And now let's see Pinout. Pinout is faster on the S22. I did not expect that to happen. Snapchat faster on the Samsung. Spotify, that one faster on the iPhone this time. Subway Surfer, and Apple A15 and 8 Gen 1, both phones is performing very similar. So let me show the speakers on both phones. First on the iPhone. So here is iPhone looks like with max volume. And here is the Samsung S22. So the speakers, it is more louder, has a lot more bass on the iPhone 14. Let's see Temper 2. And Temper 2 is very similar on both phones, although we have different versions on both phones, but both phones is running on latest Temper 2 version. So now let's open this big game which is called as PUBG Mobile. So Apple A15 with Apple 5-core GPU versus Adreno 730 GPU on the S22. iPhone 14 is taking the lead, blazing fast as you can see. The animation also feels really smooth on both phones, which is massively improved with the OneUI 5 based on Android 13 on the S22. Also in that game we have smooth graphics with extreme frame rate on both phones, but the gaming experience, it is more stable overall on the iPhone 14. Now let's opening up the Twitter, and that one faster, that is very similar. Now let's open Zedge, and that one faster on the S22. iPhone is still loading, so now let's see scrolling, and more smoother on the Samsung S22 with their 120Hz refresh rate, while iPhone it is on 60Hz, but still no jitters, anything like that. So last I'm launching the cameras on both phones, default camera application. Let's see which one is open the camera faster. So iPhone 14 is a tiny bit faster, and the camera performance, I feel it is more better on the iPhone 14, but with the Samsung S22 we have a 3x optical zoom which you don't find on the iPhone 14. So now let's look at the front facing camera. So here is the front facing camera looks like. iPhone has a 12 megapixel f1.9 aperture with autofocus, while Samsung has a 10 megapixel. So the selfie camera, it is much better on the iPhone 14. Now let's see internet browsing speed. I am thinking for Samsung internet browser on the S22 versus a Safari internet browser on the iPhone. So now let's open Samsung.com with same Wi-Fi network. So let's see which one is faster. So S22 is taking the lead, iPhone is still loading. Now it is also done as well. So now let's see scrolling. Feels again much smoother on the Samsung S22 with their 120Hz refresh rate. So now let's open gsmarina.com, and that is faster on the S22. iPhone is still loading. I don't know what is happening with the iPhone 14. Now it is also done. So now let's see scrolling, and again much smoother on the Samsung S22. S22 is way ahead in terms of the display tech. So now check our RAM management. So we have a 4GB of RAM on the iPhone 14 versus 8GB on the S22. Let's see which perform good. In the RAM management we have a lot of apps in the background. So phone dialer still there, settings, Amazon shopping still there. Let's see Candy Crush Saga, still no refresh. So Instagram, let's see pin out, Snapchat, Spotify, Subway Surfer, Temper 2, that is still there. Let's see PUBG Mobile, still no refresh. Animation, it is feels really smooth on both phones. Sometimes I see a little jitter on the S22, but not all the time. So opening up the Twitter, Zedge. So last we're back to the internet browser where we left, and you can see. And guys, what I have to say regarding the app's opening speed, as you can see that, and the iPhone 14 is perform faster in the boot up test as well as in games. In games we have a 2 or 3 second difference between these devices. Yes, the performance, it is much better, much stable on the iPhone 14. So in terms of the RAM device in that area, and both phones is performing excellent in the RAM management, not a single refresh on both phones. Also now let's talk about the battery sizes. So iPhone 14 has a 3279 mAh battery size with a 20 watt fast charging support with a 15 watt wireless charging. Again, no charge in the box with the iPhone 14, while the Samsung S22 has a 3700 mAh battery size with a 25 watt fast charging support, but no charge in the box. Again, we have 15 watt wireless charging and a 4.5 watt reverse wireless charging, which you don't find on the iPhone 14. So thank you so much for watching this speed test. I hope you like this video. So do let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and subscribe to my channel for daily tech videos like this, and follow me on Instagram and Twitter as well. And I will see you in my next video. Peace out.